The party that no one will ever forget. Party popper grinning face with sweat. It started with a promise. One that Mia had made to herself 6 months earlier, standing in the dimly lit hospital room, watching her father struggle for his last breath. Live more, laugh more, don't wait for tomorrow, he had whispered, his frail hand clutching hers. Throw the kind of party people will never forget. Mia laughed through tears at the time. Her father, a Mexican immigrant who had worked 2 jobs his entire life to give his kids a piece of the American dream, always said strange things at the strangest times. But now, half a year later, she was determined. Tonight was the night. The setup. The rented house sat just outside Chicago, where the city's skyline glittered in the distance like diamonds spilled across black velvet. Fairy lights zigzagged across the backyard, cheap speakers buzzed with reggaeton beats, and the smell of carne asada drifted into the night. Her friends had teased her, "Mia, you're overdoing it." But she didn't care. She wanted this to feel alive, chaotic, unforgettable. She wanted to shake off the grief that had clung to her like a shadow since her father's funeral. By 9 p.m. people started arriving, friends from college, neighbors, even her brother Luis, who almost never showed up for anything. Luis had grown bitter since their father's death, angry at the world, angry at America for promising so much and delivering so little. But he came, beer in hand, jaw tight, eyes restless. The heat of the night. By midnight, the house was pulsing. Someone had hooked up extra speakers. Laughter spilled like champagne. Strangers danced with strangers. Phone flashlights flickered in the air like fireflies. Mia stood on the back porch, watching the scene, heart pounding not with anxiety, but something like pride. This is it, Dad. The party they'll never forget. Then, like a needle scratching across a record, everything shifted. The first twist. A fight broke out near the drinks table. 2 guys, both drunk, shoving each other. Bottles clinked, curses flew. Luis was in the middle before anyone else could move, shoving one guy so hard he hit the fence. "Back the hell up!" Luis barked, his voice sharper than the music. The crowd froze. For a moment, silence hummed. Then someone shouted, "Cops are coming!" People scattered like spilled marbles. The word police hit differently in this crowd. Many were immigrants. Some were undocumented. One call could ruin lives. Mia rushed to Luis. "Why would you?" Before she could finish, red and blue lights bled through the windows. The crash. Chaos. People sprinted out the back, leaping over fences. Others locked themselves in the bathroom. Mia's hands shook as she tried to lower the music, but it was too late. 3 officers barged in, flashlights slicing through the smoky air. "Everyone stay where you are." The party, once a dream, had turned into a nightmare. Luis stood tall, defiant. His jaw tightened as the cops scanned the room. One officer's flashlight paused on him. "You," the officer said. "Step forward." Luis smirked. "Why me? Plenty of people here." "Now." Mia's chest caved in. She knew Luis's record: small offenses, fights, unpaid fines. But she also knew what could happen if tonight added another strike. She stepped between them. "Please," he didn't. "Ma'am, step aside." Her father's words echoed in her head, "Throw the kind of party people will never forget." She had. But not like this. The second twist. Just when it seemed Luis would be cuffed, a voice rang out from the crowd, "Wait." It wasn't him. Everyone turned. It was Daniel, a quiet, shy kid from Mia's community college. No one had noticed him much before. He was the type who melted into corners. Now he stepped forward, hands raised. "I started the fight," he said. "It was me." He was trying to break it up. The officers eyed him. One raised a brow. "That true?" Daniel nodded firmly. "Yeah. I was drunk. I got out of control." Luis's mouth opened, then closed. For once, he was speechless. After a tense pause, the officers decided. They escorted Daniel outside. No cuffs, just a warning. They drove off without arresting anyone else. The silence that followed was heavier than the bass had been minutes earlier. The aftermath. By 3 a.m. the party was dead. Only a handful of people remained, sitting in the backyard, nursing half-empty beers. Luis sat apart, staring into the night. Finally, he spoke. "Why did that kid do that?" he muttered. "He barely knows me." Mia sat beside him. "Maybe because he knew what it would mean for you if they took you." Luis laughed bitterly. "One stupid party could wrecked everything." Mia touched his shoulder. "Or saved something." He frowned. "What do you mean?" She looked at him, her eyes tired but steady. "Maybe this was Dad's way of reminding us. Life's short. We can waste it fighting, or we can protect each other. Like family. Like Daniel just did." Luis didn't answer. But his eyes softened, just a little. The ending that lingers. When dawn broke, the house was a wreck, bottles everywhere, furniture tipped, food scattered. Mia stood in the quiet backyard, watching the sunrise paint the sky in bruised colors. The party had been a disaster by every normal measure. But no one would forget it. Not Luis, who for the first time in years realized strangers could choose kindness. Not Daniel, who had stepped out of the shadows and into courage. And not Mia, who finally understood her father's last words. It wasn't about the music or the lights. It was about the moment when everything could have fallen apart, but didn't, because people still chose each other. She whispered into the morning air, almost hearing her father's laugh, "You were right, Dad. They'll never forget." And she knew, deep down, neither would she.